Welcome to the Eden Podcast, where we true the verse of Genesis 3:16, and we discover that God didn't curse Eve or Adam or limit woman in any way.
Welcome to the Eden Podcast. I'm Bruce C.E. Fleming, Executive Director of the True 316 Foundation. Our website is true316.com. That's TRU316.com. This episode, we're taking a look at the Eden Marriage Booklet and answering the question, did God give us the steps to marriage? I was single until I was 27. As it happened, I got married on my birthday. Joy and I were married in her home church, surrounded by our families, our friends, our neighbors, and members of her church. We wanted everyone in our world to know about our joyous occasion. Most of all, each of us was growing in the Lord, and God was honored in our marriage ceremony. Since then, we've seen many other marriages. We've seen widely different marriage arrangements on 3 continents. We have visited more than 50 countries from Sweden to Zambia, and multiple cities from Chicago, USA, to Paris, France, to Kinshasa, DR Congo. What have we observed? Child marriage, arranged marriage, kidnap marriage, polygamy with multiple wives, polyandry with multiple husbands, celibacy, post-marriage widowhood, and informal arrangements of various types in every place. We have studied marriage according to the Bible. We have studied marriage as practiced in the ancient Near East, as practiced in Europe during the Dark Ages, and as practiced down to our day and age. In various cultures, we have been asked, how should people get married? Each time we've sought to teach God's design for marriage for every time and every place. Is there such a design? Is there a better way? Is there a way to practice ourselves and to pass on to our children and grandchildren? Yes, there is. And it's found in the 4 marriage steps modeled in the beginning in the Garden of Eden in Genesis 2 and 3. Are we getting married the best way possible? Oh, hopes run high. Smiles and laughter are all around on wedding day. So why the heartache? Why the disappointment? Why the divorces? Can we do better by following the blueprint God gives us? Yes. God, the Creator, designed us and made us for marriage. God married our first parents, Adam and Eve, in the beautiful Garden of Eden. We can learn the 4 basic steps for marriage by studying what happened back in the beginning from Genesis chapters 1, 2, and 3. There are 4 steps in God's plan for a successful marriage. The more of these steps you take, the better your chance at success. Why not take all 4? Here are the 4 Eden marriage steps distilled from Genesis. 1, each one knows God personally. 2, the man leaves his past, and with his wife, they publicly start a new family unit. 3, there is a deep commitment made to one's partner. 4, the two become one flesh. Remarkably, many people skip over 1 or more or even all of these steps. They fail to know God personally. They don't break with their past and don't fully commit to one another. They don't make a deep commitment to the other. They don't yet unite physically. When we plan to own and drive a car, do we take steps for success? Sure, of course we do. We get a driver's license, we pay the purchase price, we learn to fuel it up, we follow the rules of the road, we take care of it. Each step makes sense and leads to success. To have a successful marriage, it makes good sense to follow God's plan. We come to know God. We break with the past and commit to our partner. We make our union public. We get help from the extended family of God's people. Each of these steps makes sense and leads to success. Let's look deeper at each step. Eden marriage step 1, each one first knows God personally. When God created the man from dust and breathed life into his body, Adam opened his eyes and he met God. The Bible says no one can see God, so I assume Adam saw Jesus, the second person of the co-equal three-in-one Trinity. The Bible sums up the creative activity of the Trinity in this way in Genesis chapter 1, so we know all three were operating back then. Genesis 1, 1, all the way up to through chapter 1. Let us create humankind in our image, male and female. Genesis chapter 1, let us create humankind in our image, male and female. According to Genesis 2 and 3, the man and God talked together and walked together. I recall the love and joy we had at the birth of each of our children. As they grew, they expressed their love to us many times, and they still do. Adam and God knew and loved one another. When God created the woman as another human being, Eve opened her eyes and she met God. She too was made in the image and likeness of God. In the Hebrew text, we learned that she was created as an equal partner with the man. According to Genesis 2 and 3, the woman and God talked together and walked together. Did they need to get married before knowing God? Of course not. From the moment the man and the woman each opened their eyes, they each knew God. Does celibacy, never marrying, mean that we can't know God? Children who are not married can and do come to know God. Marriage has nothing to do with our coming to know God. Marriage does not change our relationship with God, nor our ability to follow God's will for our lives. When they were attacked by the serpent tempter in the Garden of Eden, each one disobeyed God's command not to eat from the forbidden tree. One was tricked, deceived into eating. One rebelliously chose on purpose to eat that fruit. God dealt with each one according to their individual relationships with him. Both became mortal and died. The man, as well as the rebellious serpent tempter, each had a curse imposed because of them. The woman was treated more gently and even received the promise of the deliverer, who we know from our point in history was Jesus himself. Notably, God didn't curse Eve or Adam or limit woman in any way. Eden marriage step 2. The man leaves his birth family, and together with his wife, they establish a new family unit. His primary allegiance is to her. In Genesis 2:24, we read, "A man shall leave his father and his mother." When we are children, we are guided and directed. We are fed and clothed by our father and our mother. One of the 10 Commandments tells us to honor our father and our mother. And in Leviticus 19, it says the same thing, only saying first, honor our mother and our father. And we do. We learn to walk like them. We learn to talk like them. When we get hurt, we run to them for care and comfort. When are we able to leave our father and mother? Not while we're little ones. Marriage is not for children. Does this tell us how to leave? How far to leave? The Hebrew word for leave is azav. It means to abandon. The man forsakes and leaves his old family unit. Such abandoning or desertion of father and mother is observed and recognized by others. In the Garden of Eden, there was nobody else around, and nobody had parents yet. Genesis 2:24 is referring to everybody else after the first man and woman who had no parents. The man's marriage is to be a public affair. His family and the rest of society with him all know that the man is leaving his parents. In cultures around the world, when there is a moment when all recognize that here is the starting point of the life of a new family unit, they are following the example set down in Genesis 2. When such a starting event is not clearly established, when an intimate relationship is started between a man and a woman without a publicly recognized launching point, people are not following the ideal pattern from Eden. Eden marriage step 3, the man commits to his wife. The next step in the marriage process is that the man cleaves, clings, or keeps close. The Hebrew word is dabak, to his wife. The verb expresses strong attachment and loyalty and personal commitment. The same verb is used in the book of Ruth. In Ruth chapter 1, verse 16, we read that Ruth clings to her mother-in-law. Not wanting to part, Ruth adopts the people of Israel, her mother-in-law's people, as her own. Notice, too, that she also believes in God, as does her mother-in-law. Here's what she said: "Where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God." These four aspects of Ruth's commitment are exemplary of a husband's devotion to his wife. The loyalty and strong emotional attachment of marriage are designed exclusively for one man and one woman. Eden step 4, the two unite physically. The fourth step to a marriage patterned on God's plan in the Garden of Eden involves both the man and the woman who become one flesh. This physical union consummates the marriage. It's the last step taken by the couple. Many people have intercourse without taking the first 3 Eden steps. When they do, they deprive themselves of all God planned for them. By taking these 4 Eden steps, their life together will be very much more enriched. At the creation, in the beginning, when God builds the woman from the man's body, what was 1 becomes 2. Then in marriage, what had become 2 becomes 1. The Bible describes this union as one flesh. Flesh emphasizes the physical aspect. One emphasizes their oneness or their unity. This Hebrew word is not the word used in counting, as in 1, 2, 3. This word for one stands for a unity with different parts. It's the Hebrew word echad. It's the word that is used in Deuteronomy 6:4. There it's written, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God. The Lord is one." Is there an Eden step 5? No. No additional step is required. There are some cultures around the world where a 5th step is added to these 4. For them, having children is counted as a step for a successful marriage. No baby, no marriage in their eyes. This is not taught in the Bible. It's a harmful additional step to require for marriage. In some countries, for various reasons, up to 25% of a population may be unable to have children. According to traditional cultures, these marriages are incomplete. They're not even valid marriages. It's possible to dismiss a so-called barren wife or to add an additional wife in order to have children. In the overview passage of Genesis 1, the first couple was blessed by God to be fruitful and multiply. But in the detailed passage of Genesis 2, where we receive the detailed steps for marriage, having children is not listed as a part of creating a successful new family unit. The biblical marriage relationship is characterized by harmoniously living as equal partners as each one lives in communion with their Creator. What about singleness? The remarkable truth illustrated in Genesis 2 is that each one, the man and the woman, personally knew God apart from being married. This is true for us today. People are single before they marry. People are single even after they marry, after the death of their spouse. A relationship with the Savior is possible for each and every person regardless of their marriage status. Let's encourage others and do this ourselves. If we marry, let's make sure to take all 4 of the Eden marriage steps. 1, let's make sure that we know God personally. 2, let's break with our past, and with our spouse, let's publicly start our new family. 3, let's make a deep commitment to our partner. 4, let's become one flesh as husband and one wife. There's much more to learn from Eden. We include many more details in my book, The Book of Eden, Genesis 2-3. We also offer the Eden Workshop. Simply connect with us at true316.com/workshop.
True 316 Foundation is the home of the Eden podcast. Join us for $3.16 a month or more. Let's true the verses on the key passages on women and men. Go to true316.com/partner. True 316 is strengthening and encouraging many, and we're getting stories every day of lives changed through our ministry. We're the home of the Eden podcast, and we're getting the word out that God didn't curse Eve or Adam or limit woman in any way. Our volunteer help is wonderful. And we grow stronger with each new True partner who gives to the True 316 Foundation so that we can cover the costs to do the technical work of the Eden podcast, to coordinate our True School workshops like the 2-week Eden workshop on Genesis 2 and 3, and to make the True 316 Foundation function in its outreach to scholars and students around the world. You can give now with a one-time gift. And better still, you can join now and become a monthly donor. We call our monthly donors our True Partners. Please join now by going to true316.com/partner.